Today I'll be talking about John van Eyck and the Arnolfini portrait. John van Eyck is believed to have been born before 1395 in Mosaic Holy Roman Empire, now known as Belgium, and is believed to have died somewhere around 1441 in Bruges. He was a Netherlandish painter who perfected oil painting with his high level of realism, from glimmering jewels, reflective metals, and realistic human flesh. It was the beginning of the Northern European Renaissance, and van Eyck was leading it by borrowing Italian Renaissance techniques like linear perspective, naturalistic observation, and a realistic figurative approach for his paintings. The Arnolfini portrait was painted around 1434 by John van Eyck and is one of European art's most famous paintings. It features an Italian merchant couple in 15th century Bruges showcasing their wealth. There are many theories suggesting what the portrait could be about. Some of these theories include a wedding portrait, a double portrait, or a memorial commemorating the dead wife. At first glance, this painting looks like nothing more than just a portrait, but paying closer attention to the details can reveal a whole new story. The medium used on the Arnolfini portrait was oil on a 30 centimeter by 82 centimeter oak panel. Oil painting was being used more and more as it allowed for enhanced colors and textures. The Arnolfini portrait contains a high degree of symmetry. The husband and the wife standing on each side of the portrait create a sense of equilibrium. Other elements, such as the chandelier and the mirror, are placed in a symmetrical manner which enhance the overall balance of the portrait. The most prominent colors that Van Eyck used in this portrait are red, black, and green. We can see these colors all over the room, from the bed to the clothes that the couple is wearing. These colors were the most expensive colors to achieve in this time period, since it took weeks of laborious work dyeing the fabric over and over to achieve the dark, rich tone. John van Eyck was a master of oil paint, and this can be seen through the way he uses light and shadow to amplify the portrait. We can especially see this on one of the oranges sitting on the windowsill, and how the light from the window lightens up the room and the faces of the husband and the wife. It is believed that the man standing on the left is Giovanni Arnolfini, and the woman standing next to him is his wife. Giovanni Arnolfini was an Italian merchant who worked in Bruges, a thriving economic town in the 15th century, where Giovanni lived a wealthy life. This wealth is portrayed by the clothing the couple is wearing and the furniture in the room, since furniture during this time was not common in normal households. The room that the couple is in isn't even a bedroom. It is what we now know as a living room. People would place their beds in their living rooms to show off their wealth. The wife on the right is wearing a garment that needed 35 meters of high-quality wool to make. The white fur lining on the garment is known as miniver, which was the white fur from the underbelly of squirrels, and more than 2,000 skins were needed to line a garment that size with fur. Her high-plucked eyebrows and shaven hairline were a fashion trend during this time, and the veil over her head meant that she was married. Some scholars believe that the purpose of the portrait is a memorial to the wife, since it is believed that she had died prior to the portrait being created. There are many symbolic values in this portrait. Their shoes being off could symbolize a sacred event taking place. The single-lit candle in the chandelier on the left is believed to represent how Giovanni is still living, while the burnt-out candle on the right symbolizes that the wife is dead. The mirror has scenes from the Passion of Christ that also point to this being a memorial portrait, since the left side has the resurrection of Jesus Christ and the right side has his death. The dog can be seen as a symbol of fidelity or loyalty, but it could also suggest that the wife is dead, since dogs were usually placed beside women's feet in their tombs. John van Eyck was an amazing artist who was able to use oil painting on a high level. He was able to launch the Northern European Renaissance with his extremely detailed oil paintings and realism. Through the painting called the Arnolfini portrait, we are able to see his talent in action. There is much to uncover in this portrait, and there is a variety of symbolistic items like the dog, the candles on the chandelier, and even the oranges on the windowsill. Van Eyck was a master in his work, but we may never know what his painting was truly about.